So you've got the skills, you've got the experience, maybe years of it, but for some reason, that piece of paper isn't turning into a job offer. It's a huge, frustrating puzzle, right? Well, today we're going to talk about how to solve it, how to cross that final crucial mile from having proven skills to actually having a job in hand.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to put a name to that frustrating gap. We'll call it the last mile problem. Then, we're going to walk through a really powerful three-part solution: how to translate what you know, how to navigate where you can go, and why you have to commit to always growing. Sound good? Let's dive in. Okay, let's kick things off with this idea, the last mile problem. This is all about that baffling, often invisible barrier that leaves so many talented people asking themselves, why isn't this working?
I mean, think about it. On the surface, it seems so simple, doesn't it? You have a skilled person who needs a job, you have a company that desperately needs a skilled person, so what's going on? Why are they so often failing to connect? And that right there, that's what we call the last mile problem. It's the gap that exists between you proving you have the skills and an employer actually recognizing the value of those skills. And believe me, that recognition, it's everything. You know, a lot of the time, this whole journey kicks off with something called skills validation. It's the official process to get all your skills, whether from work, life, whatever, down on paper. It gives you the proof. But here's the thing, that proof is just the ticket to get into the race. It doesn't mean you're going to cross the finish line. Okay, so we've identified the problem. Now, how do we actually start to fix it? Well, the very first key is learning how to translate your experience. And this is a huge mental shift. It's not about what you did in the past. It's about what you can do for an employer in the future. Let's bring this to life with a real story. This is a quote from Rahima. She had tons of experience caring for children, but she had this nagging doubt. She thought, well, it wasn't a formal 9-to-5 job, so maybe employers won't take it seriously. And that fear, it's so common. Now, this is where it gets really powerful. It's all about language. Look at this. On the left, you've got the task, cleaned tables. But look at how we translate that on the right. Maintains high hygiene standards. See the difference? For Rahima, cared for children becomes organizes safe play environments and supports socio-emotional development. Now that is a skill an employer can immediately see the value in. So how do you actually do that translation? Well, there's this fantastic, super practical tool called the STAR method. It's a simple way to turn a skill into a compelling story. You just explain the situation, the task you had to do, the specific action you took, and this is the most important part, the positive result of your action. It turns a simple claim into solid proof. And what was the outcome for Rahima? It was a total game changer. By translating her skills this way, an employer was so impressed with how clear her profile was that they offered her a trial period on the spot. Just like that, her doubt turned into a real opportunity. All right, so once you've translated your skills into a language employers understand, what's next? Well, now you need a map. It's not enough to know what you can do. You got to figure out where you're going. This is where Samuel's story comes in. He had his skills validated, and it confirmed he was great at metalworking. But it came back with this label, partial qualification. And that just left him feeling totally stuck, asking that one big question. Okay, so what's the right path for me now? But here's the crucial part. Partial qualification wasn't a dead end. Not at all. It was more like a crossroads with a bunch of different paths he could take. He could try to get a job right away, he could join a program to fill in the gaps, or he could do an apprenticeship to learn on the job. The point is, he had options. And check out this brilliant, personalized plan they came up with for him. Instead of trying to tackle this huge mountain all at once, they broke it down into manageable steps. First, get a job to have some stability. Next, take some courses to build up confidence. And then, once he was ready, enroll in the program to get that full qualification. See how that makes it so much less overwhelming? And you can just hear the impact in his own words. He said, I feel like everything is possible again. That's what a clear plan does. It's not just about a job. It's about restoring that sense of hope and control over your own future. Okay, so we've translated skills, we've navigated the pathways, but there's one last absolutely crucial piece to this puzzle. Getting that first job isn't the finish line. In the world we live in today, it's really just the start. I mean, just look around. In today's economy, if you stand still, you're actually falling behind.
We've got massive technological change happening all the time. Job roles are constantly being rewritten, whole industries are shifting, and that digital skills gap is a real thing. Lifelong learning isn't just a nice idea anymore, it's essential. Let's talk about Lila. Her story is one I think a lot of us can relate to. She was a great receptionist, but she started to worry her skills were getting old. She said, "Everything is digital now. I'm afraid I can't keep up." That fear of being left behind is so powerful. But look at how she tackled it. She didn't try to become a tech genius overnight. It was all about small, smart steps. Start with a basic digital skills course. Pop into a workshop to learn the new lingo. Go see how the tools are used in a real workplace. And with each little step, she not only built her skills, but more importantly, she built her confidence.
So, when you put all of this together, what do you get? Well, you get a clear strategy to break that vicious cycle of being skilled but unemployed. And instead, you create a virtuous circle, one where skills lead to opportunity, and opportunity leads to new skills. So if you remember anything from this, let it be these three keys. Number 1, translate your skills so employers see your value. Number 2, navigate your career with a clear step-by-step plan. And number 3, never stop learning. Commit to evolving continuously.
And you see, this isn't about luck. Bridging that last mile is a system. It's a process that gives people confidence and a real direction. It helps employers find incredible talent they were overlooking. And when that happens, it doesn't just help one person. It makes our entire economy stronger. So I'll leave you with this to think about. What is the single most important thing that we can do as individuals, as companies, as a community to make sure that last mile isn't a barrier, but a bridge for everyone? Thanks for tuning in.